Hello, students. I'm now going to talk about Chapter 3 from Lord of the Flies, Huts on the Beach. First, we start with the title of the chapter with two concrete images, the beach and the huts, but obviously the huts are more important in this chapter. So let me take you through some observations. First of all, we start the chapter with Jack's hunt. It is intense. It is almost an obsession as Jack is trying to find this pig and stab the pig, and he misses, and he comes out of the forest to the other boys. The two boys that are there are Ralph and Simon. Now, the huts, Ralph is putting up these huts with Simon. The first went well, the second not as well, and now he's really having trouble with Simon. He had a lot of help on the first one, not much for the second, and only Simon for the third. And this physically shows the deterioration of order on the island. It also shows a desire for home, but not necessarily a willingness to work for a home, which the huts may represent. This chapter has an antagonism between Jack and Ralph. In fact, on page 51, it says, now the antagonism was audible as Ralph is frustrated with the lack of help for the huts, and Jack is frustrated because he hasn't killed a pig yet, and the fact that Ralph is talking badly about his hunters. And then as you come to the end of the chapter, it says that these were two continents, this is on page 55, two continents of experience and feeling, unable to communicate. If I could only get a pig, I'll come back and go on with the shelter. That's what the two boys say on 55. And then it says they looked at each other baffled in love and hate. So there's something connecting them. They both have a passion, but they also have this antagonism and this hatred for one another for various reasons. Let's keep studying that and asking why. What's going on there? Next, you'll notice that Simon's the only one to help. Simon's an interesting character, and we get more of him in this chapter. We need to keep thinking about who is this Simon? What's going on with him? The huts are their home, and we see the word home on page 52 down at the bottom. It says, so we need shelters as a sort of home. That's right. So they need a home, says Ralph. They're working toward a home, and yet things are kind of breaking up. Why is that? And when you think of home, what makes something a home? Well, that's one of our questions in just a minute. The little ones saying it's not a good island. There's a beastie, a snake thing on the island. This is bothering Ralph, as if it weren't a good island, he says. He really wants this to be a good island as their leader, and really in just his reality of how things are. But the little ones are noticing it's not. Now, nobody knows why exactly, except perhaps Simon, who has a deeper understanding. So what is it that's making this not a good island? What is this beastie, this snake thing, as Simon calls it, but you're not supposed to say the word snake on the island. And finally, we have Simon's peaceful departure at the end. And it's a small detail, but as he's walking, there are little ones trying to get food, and he is taller and able to reach up and grab the ripe fruit and give it to the children. He didn't have to do that. He's choosing to serve. He serves Ralph, he serves the children, then he goes into this little nature preserve area with sunlight that's a bath of heat, it's called, with all of this color and butterflies, and he just kind of sits and sweats, and it's almost like he's meditating and thinking and taking it all in. Why is that? What's going on with Simon? Let's continue to look. So, what's the purpose of the chapter? Well, first of all, it's a continuation of the beast development. Secondly, there's a discontentment on the island. As things are breaking up, you get this, it's almost like Ralph can't articulate this disappointment and discontentment he's having with this expectation versus the reality of what's going on. Then we have this desire for home that comes to the surface. We have Simon showing help in a couple different ways. And finally, the development of the antagonism between Jack and Ralph, which will really come to a head in the next couple chapters. Some questions to consider as we continue. What makes something a home? Why? What do you do when there's this social contract? They've created a social contract on the platform where they say, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to have this as our bathroom. We're going to have this as our drinking water. We're going to have these routines. These people are going to tend the fire. These people are going to hunt. We're all going to make shelters. What happens when people don't fulfill their social contract? What are the consequences? How do you enforce that? And is it just a social contract, or is there a moral part to this where ethically there's an ought, there's a duty to be part of the community and to help? And when you don't, what should happen to you? Those are questions that we ask in society all the time. Who is right? Ralph, wanting shelters and rescue, or Jack, wanting sport and meat? Who's right? Ethically, who's right? Good question. And then finally, what's the purpose of Simon? Why is he there? These are things that hopefully you're considering as you read, as you think about this novel. and it'll be good for discussion as well. Keep reading, keep enjoying.